Hey man, how's it going? I'm doing good. How about you? I'm doing great. You want to show people how to use a green screen? Heck yeah, I do. Awesome, me too. Let's get started.
Alright guys, how's it going? This is Andrew Walski for TechCentralTutorials. So if you remember in part 1 of this video, we learned how to clone by using the method that I like to call cropping. Now, I don't recommend using that method unless if at all possible, for the simple fact that it doesn't really come out looking that good. Well, it does, but you have to be really careful with it. But as you saw, we're going to be learning how to clone using green screen. This is a little bit more complicated of a process, although not too complicated, but it just requires a little more work, and obviously it requires a green screen or blue screen or red screen or pretty much any solid color, to be honest. But so yeah, without further ado, let's get started. Alright, so the first thing you're going to want to do is obviously you're going to want to import the video that you have your green screen on. I have 2 videos right here. We're just going to use the videos from the intro, just for easy measures. And again, we aren't going to have audio just for the sake of it. You know, I'm not necessarily concentrated on syncing audio up. But, so basically you're going to do the same thing. You're going to import video and put one video on top of another. It doesn't really matter which video goes where. The left is on top in this case, and you can see the right is on the bottom. So yeah. Now if you just do that, you can see that there's 2. So now, what you want to do, actually I'm going to change the quality of this real quick. So what you're going to do is you're going to go into Video Effects, go down to Chroma Key and Green Screen, and drag it onto the top video. And as you can see, you can already see through it. Now, as you can see, my green screen isn't exactly this bright. It's a little bit darker. So you're going to want to adjust until it's about where it needs to be. Or to make it easier, all you have to do is go to Color, click this little dropper tool, and grab the color from this thumbnail down here, and it'll match pretty much exactly. Now you can see my face is still a little greened out. That's because we have to adjust thresholds. Now sometimes you'll have to adjust low threshold, but that basically makes it kind of makes it brighter, and this makes it a little bit darker. So we're just going to match it up until that should be good right about there. Now as you can see, there are 2 different shades of my face, but that's simply because I was closer to the light in this one, and they were shot at a little bit different times of day. However, it's not as big of a deal in this case because simply you're not trying to focus on blending in anything, because it's basically taking one solid color out and leaving the rest in. So with that being said, that's actually really all there is to it. Now what if you have a different color background? Well, all you have to do is click Default, and you can put it on and then readjust the color from there. The easiest way to do it is put the clips on top of each other. Put the clips on top of each other, go to Chroma Key, Green Screen, put it on the top one, change the color around a bit. If you need to, you can grab the eyedropper tool and just grab the color straight from the thumbnail. Then you can readjust thresholds until it looks good. Actually, that looks a little bit better, to be honest. So yeah. Actually, this one required a lot less work than the other one. The real work is getting a green screen and getting the proper light, lighting, because if the green screen is any shade different in any area, so if this is darker than this, it will mess it up, and it won't be a solid fade all the way through. So like it won't, like half of the video will appear less transparent than the other, and that's obviously a problem. And you can actually get it to look kind of cool like this. You know, you could add different effects and whatnot to make one person like it look like a ghost or something. As you could see, if we just take this, oops, not that. Yeah, if we take this, make it go like that, I can look like a ghost or something. You know, just random stuff. You can mess with it, make it look how you want. But basically, that's how it's done. Now, we're gonna go over the pros and cons of this one too, because we went over the pros and cons of the other way. So we're gonna go over the pros and cons of this one too. Pro number 1: it's a lot simpler. You don't have to work with cropping, and you don't have to work with trying to blend colors and whatnot. So it's a lot simpler. Pro number 2. You can use any solid color. It doesn't have to be green screen. Okay, now some programs, depending on what you use, might actually only use green screen. But the beautiful thing about Sony Vegas is that you can use literally any solid color. All you have to do is then choose default, and then eyedrop the color from the thumbnail. That's all you have to do, and then you could just adjust the thresholds to make it look, the body, opaque, and then the rest of the video transparent. So literally, you can use any solid color. It doesn't have to be green. Green just works the best because that's what most programs are, programmed to, use as a, kind of a green screen special effects kind of thing. Now let's get into the cons. The cons are not everyone has a green screen, or a solid color background. So not everyone has access to a solid color. A lot of houses nowadays don't have solid color walls. Some of them are, fancy and weird and stuff like that, but not everyone has access to a solid color. Second thing, lighting has to be perfect. It has to be equal lighting all the way around. And what I mean by that is this half has to be the same shade as this half. So if there's any color difference like this down here, as you can see, this didn't really register, okay? So yeah, you have to have a solid color all the way through. It can't be any shade. It can't be a single shade darker, a single shade lighter. It has to be the exact same shade. Also, there can't be any wrinkles. It has to be a perfectly flat, straight background. Now you can see there are a few wrinkles here, but I got lucky. I got lucky that it didn't register as a different color, because a wrinkle, although it might not seem a wrinkle or a bump or bulge, even though it might not seem like it would matter, it does, because it affects the color. It affects the way the light looks. So it has to be completely flat, and that's not always easy. Okay, so that's pretty much it for the pros and cons and how to do it. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. I hope this was enjoyable and an easy tutorial for you to follow. But thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, and share. And just remember that this is your one-stop shop for all your latest tutorials and how-tos. I'm Andrew Walski for TechCentralTutorials. Thank you for watching.